Long before humans, long before animals, long before plants, oceans, or even oxygen, there was a moment, not a bang, not a miracle, not a divine command, but, a choice. In the silent darkness of Earth's primordial oceans, two microscopic cells encountered one another. They floated in a world ruled by chemistry, chance, and survival. And in that encounter, something unprecedented happened. They did not destroy each other. They did not compete until one vanished. Instead, they cooperated. That single decision, invisible, silent, and fragile, became the first move in the greatest game ever played. This is the story of that game, and why everything that exists today, including you, is the result of a long-term strategy. Life is not chaos. Life is strategy. We often describe life as random, as chaotic, as the outcome of blind chance. But honestly, this is only half the truth. Life does not survive by randomness alone. It survives by rules. From the smallest bacterium to the most complex human society, life constantly answers the same question: do I cooperate or do I defect? This is the central problem of game theory. In every system where multiple agents interact, there are two basic strategies. Act only for yourself, or act together with others. Short-term selfishness can win quickly, but long-term survival requires cooperation. Life learned this lesson very early. The single-cell world, a dangerous game. For most of Earth's history, life existed as single cells. Each cell lived alone. Each cell replicated for itself. Each cell competed for resources. This worked, but only up to a point. Single cells were fragile, easy prey, and vulnerable to environmental change. Then something revolutionary happened. Some cells, they stopped separating after division. They stayed together. At first, this was not about love. It wasn't about morality. It was simply strategy. The birth of multicellular cooperation. By staying together, cells gained some real advantages. They became larger and, harder to eat. They could store resources more efficiently. They could protect each other. But of course, cooperation came with a cost. To truly succeed, cells had to give up something fundamental. They had to give up individual freedom. This moment is best seen in simple organisms like volvox, spherical colonies of cells rotating through water like living planets. Inside these colonies, not all cells are equal. Some cells move, some protect, some work. Only a few reproduce. The rest, they sacrifice their immortality. This was the ultimate gamble: individual death for collective success. And it worked. The greatest sacrifice in biology. Imagine being a cell capable of reproducing forever and choosing not to. That is what somatic cells do. They agree to limit their growth, follow signals, and die when ordered, all so that the organism survives. This is not altruism. This is a stable equilibrium. In game theory, it's the only strategy that survives across deep time. Any cell that refuses these rules threatens the entire system. So, to keep cooperation stable, life invented rules, not enforced by laws, but by biology itself. Every healthy organism, follows 5 foundational principles. First, cells may only divide when instructed. Uncontrolled growth is, absolutely forbidden. Second, cells must accept programmed death. When the system demands sacrifice, the cell complies, no questions asked. Third, cells must specialize. They simply cannot do everything. They have to do one thing well. Fourth, resources must be shared. No cell is allowed to hoard energy. And fifth, the environment must be protected. The system, really, must maintain its own structure. If you break one rule, the system weakens. But if you break all five, well, the system just collapses. So, cancer, it's not actually foreign. It's not some kind of invader. Cancer is, well, a cell that just stops playing by the rules. It defects. It starts dividing without permission, refuses to die, ignores specialization, steals resources, and, ultimately destroys its environment. In game theory, cancer is basically the ultimate cheater. At first, cheating actually works. The cancer cell grows really fast, outcompetes its neighbors, and then it spreads. But here's the paradox. If the cancer wins completely, the organism dies. And when the organism dies, the cancer dies too. So cheating never wins the long game. Life, learn to defend itself. The immune system patrols constantly, always searching for defectors. Tumor suppressor genes, well, they act as referees. But some species went even further. Elephants, with their massive bodies and trillions of cells, should statistically die of cancer all the time. But they don't. Why? Because honestly, evolution added extra safeguards. More copies of cancer defense genes and stronger enforcement too. In Backgammon, this is called stopping the runaway. You simply do not allow a piece to escape unchecked, because escape means collapse. Backgammon. It's really the perfect metaphor for life. Backgammon is not chess. It isn't pure logic. It's strategy, mixed with uncertainty. You roll dice, you adapt, and you commit when the odds are right. So this is exactly how life works. Mutations are, like dice rolls. The environment is just chance. And strategy? Well, that's how organisms respond. You really can't control randomness. But over time, randomness kind of averages out. And what actually remains is strategy. The double. Commitment without return. In Backgammon, there's this moment called the double. You commit fully. There's absolutely no turning back. In biology, this is what we call differentiation. A stem cell becomes a heart cell, or maybe a neuron, or even a muscle cell. Once committed, there is just no return. This is honestly a dangerous move. But without it, complexity never really emerges. Life grows by making these irreversible commitments. Life does not learn in days, or years, or centuries. Life learns over billions of years. Bacteria already communicate. They count themselves. They act together. This is learning. This is coordination. This is intelligence at the cellular level. Human consciousness is not a miracle. It is an accumulation. Billions of tiny decision makers working together, sharing information, forming a single awareness. So, perhaps consciousness is not actually created by brains. Maybe, just maybe, brains are more like receivers, filters, or interfaces, if you will. In the same way that cells cooperate to form organisms, organisms themselves might cooperate to form something even larger. Thought itself could be part of the universe's structure, a field, really. And every cooperative act just strengthens that field. We exist because cooperation won. Because at some point, two cells chose strategy over violence. Because life, well, it learned that cheating destroys the game. The universe does not reward selfishness in the long run. Instead, it rewards systems that cooperate, adapt, and learn. You are not separate from this process. In fact, you are its continuation. You cooperate, or there is no cooperation. And honestly, without cooperation, there is no life.